Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Villas, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, no load time? Obed, good to be back with you, my friend. How are you doing?
Good to be here, sir. Doing well. How's it going over there?
I'm doing good. I'm not buffering.
You're
I
not, no.
so
Uh,
so you remember the last one? It was pretty bad,
right.
right? And I know we've talked before at length and nauseum about the internet provider and their issues to the point that you switched yourself.
Right, I did. Yeah.
And I get it, but yeah, like the whole day was really bad. And actually, after we went off, I
Yeah.
jumped online and tried to actually like play some 2K online, right?
You're
With
lagging.
some of the guys. Oh my gosh, dude, the lag was so bad. I literally was telling people, "Don't pass me the ball," because I was like out of bounds, like I couldn't even move.
Did your
And
character
then
your character turn around and slap another character or it's like spin around? A
oh,
spinning lariat, Zangief
uh,
style.
oh man, I ended up basically like literally that night the was told by the provider, hey, we know it's bad, we're
Mm,
updating it.
okay.
And it's ironic because I've been talking to to other people just in general,
Right.
and everyone who has the same provider has been saying that they've been having some serious issues recently.
Interesting.
And this is in other parts of even the state, like hours away, like South Florida, and et cetera. So it's not just even like a Central Florida thing. There's something, I don't know what's going on, but
That's
guess what, guys?
strange.
I'm not lagging. I'm here. Let's hope it
Yeah,
stays that way.
you look good
I
today.
do apologize for that issue, but that's my rant about what happened last week. Our
Well, last
apologies.
week, yeah. Well, I think last week too, after because I had the stream. Okay, so I had like our stream going up, right? Then I had the YouTube stream that I'm monitoring on the other side, right? Plus, I had um the Game Awards going on this TV, and the living room we have DirecTV stream, so that was on, and my wife was
Right.
on Netflix on her iPad. So it
Do
was a
you have the
combination
one
of
gig
things.
though?
Yeah, I have a 1 gig. It was fine, like,
That's gotta
but
be
once
good.
I turned off this one, you were much better. Not 100%, but you were much better.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
so it may have been a combination of like my bandwidth getting drained, and and your whatever you had going on over there.
Yeah,
So
dude. It was wild. Oh my goodness.
that's nuts. No,
We
what
try, we try.
we got you. We got you. Yeah, yeah.
Almost as bad as my internet issues and we went live from Comic-Con, did a whole podcast. Remember that last
Oh
year?
yeah. Well, hey,
Man, that
we
for
pulled it
hotel
off.
Wi-Fi,
It
we did
wasn't
it.
bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, coast to
Yeah.
coast.
Like yeah, coast to coast. It wasn't bad at all, man. Like
Yeah.
we've dealt with much worse
Obed's a pro, if you guys
over
didn't
the
know.
years.
Obed is a pro. He's a firefighter, constantly extinguishing fires.
Yeah, I tried to at least, or at least I tried to cover up the fire.
You're not the firefighter that they need. You're the one they deserve.
Right. Exactly,
Uh,
exactly. You know what? Put a patch on it. It'll still run. You know, it's fine. Yeah, but yeah, man. Not much on my end. The
yeah.
only thing of note, since I platinum Spider Man, I'm waiting for whatever DLC comes out of that. Started playing the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4 because I purchased that when it came out. I didn't and I had to play it, so started playing that Saturday. Um, had a little bit of a problem with like my PS5 updating some stuff.
Mm.
It was very strange. So on Friday morning, I turned it on, um, and I was like, all right, so this is the plan for the weekend. I'm gonna play Separate Ways. I'm gonna go update all
Yeah.
this stuff, and I'll do it right. So I updated all the everything that I wanted to play. Played some DMC5 on Friday. Um, that was another problem. Like DLC didn't update. It was like, okay, this is very strange. So something's happening. I don't know what's going on. Um, I may do that license reset that you can do on the PlayStation to see if
Oh,
everything comes
sure.
back up, right? But the thing is that the Separate Ways never downloaded, and I went in the game in RE4. I was like, okay, well, so what happened to Separate Ways? It never downloaded. I set it to download and it never came down. So I I had to go in the game, go in the PlayStation Store from the game, and then hit download. I was like, okay, well now we gotta wait. Um,
Right.
and then I forgot that over the week there was a few other smaller PS4 games that I wanted to add on the PS5, and those were like had priority on the queue. I mean, luckily they were small games, so they downloaded pretty quick. Um,
Yeah.
but then I had to wait for Separate Ways, and then yeah, no, start playing it. Okay, so if you've ever played Separate Ways on the original RE4, which is not on the GameCube version now, Separate Ways was added when RE4 got released on PS2, and then all the subsequent versions had it added. Um, so far, this is way better than that. Like that really does feel like a proto DLC, like Separate Ways in the original RE4, because it didn't come out on the GameCube, and then the PS2 version had it, right? So it does feel like an add-on, like a what would eventually become DLC.
Right.
Uh, but it did feel like it was like it was not unique. Like yeah, you go through the same places, and that's to be expected. Um, but it felt too samey. This one's very different. Like I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to wrapping it up. But it's so far so good, dude. I went back to the room. Like if you play RE4 remake, you know the room in the castle. Like I don't have to tell you anything else. It's like the room on because I did a professional. I started a professional run, and then I stopped because Final Fantasy came out, Final Fantasy 16. But so I got to the room and I couldn't get past the room. I still can't get past the room.
No.
I'm gonna try it. Like whenever I finish Separate Ways, I'll probably go back and try to finish the room, even if I run out of grenades. I'll be fine. The one thing though that during the Game Awards, the Final Fantasy 16 DLC got announced, and it came out last week.
Mm.
So I'm potentially planning on playing that, um, because I don't plan on buying anything until Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So I
Right.
may just get that DLC. I enjoyed 16 well enough where I could just get the DLC and see what's up. But yeah, looking forward to just spending more gaming time now with the holidays coming up. I have a bunch of days off. I'm gonna be in it for sure. So I'm definitely
Nice.
gonna have time to burn and go through that and revisit like Shredder's Revenge and some other stuff that I want to play again. So Shredder's Revenge I played extensively, but I really that's a game that you know it's a really good pick up and play game. Like you can pick it
Mm.
up, play a few levels, I'm good, right? And then it's a really good like arcade game, so it's great. But yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to spending more time and like playing because holidays are coming up. Like I said, not planning
Yes,
anything
it's
else,
great.
but yeah, man, it's catch up and then Final Fantasy in February, so I'm good.
Nice, nice. No, it's great. Great time to do it. And there's so much more coming that it's time to get through the backlog.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, man, I guess it's a sort of a thin episode today because there's not many
It's
news, not
very
many,
different.
not too many what's ups, but um, I guess going into the Game Awards and we can transition. One shall stand, one shall fall. Um, just as a recap of the Game Awards, and we'll go into the winners here in a minute, but this one did feel more like an E3 conference more than anything.
Yeah.
Um, it was weird because they were only giving the winners just a couple of minutes. It was all very brief, and everything else was like reveals and releases and all that. So yeah, man. I mean, what overall, what do you think? I mean, I think it was a good show. It in a different way. But what do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good show too, and the format makes sense for gaming. The like making it where it's okay, the award stuff quick, but then focusing more on like the reveals and just having those trailers loaded up. Like that only works really mostly in the medium that we're talking about. Because let's face it, most people tuning into the Game Awards aren't going, I am here because I want to see, you know, if Minecraft is gonna win, whatever, right? Like
Right.
that's not what they're there. I'm not saying that like that isn't a fun thing. There aren't people there, but the majority are there because of the releases and the reveals and the announcements that come out from the event, which I do think is what makes it so special. I heard someone else say that like the Oscars need to consider actually changing their format and doing something like that where they have studios do that because right now, like no one watches the Oscars, but if people say, "Hey, a short whatever," and then just jump into, and here's a
Bro,
new trailer for Top Gun
I
2,
was gonna
like
say, can
that
you
could be good,
imagine the Oscars being more like a Comic Con thing?
right? People might actually tune in, be like, "Oh, I gotta tune into the Oscars. I want to see what's gonna be revealed
Because
today."
normally, and I think this could even work in their benefit because Oscars are about the same around the same time as the Super Bowl. A
Correct,
lot of movies tend like the year's big movies tend to have their trailers um, at the Super Bowl.
right?
Maybe they can just move them to the Oscars and
Well, they can showcase more,
right. Because and it will be their showcase, right? It's like they don't have to interrupt. They don't have to show a 30-second trailer during a timeout at a football game. They can go full blown like trailer, right?
right?
They don't have to go. They don't have to show you 30 seconds. Check the full trailer on YouTube. It's like which
Right.
it's really dumb, right? But they can just show you the whole thing, right? And it's their platform is there for them to take advantage of, and I can.
Right.
I think that's it, sir.
It would make it more
Are
relevant.
sir? You should. Are you sure you're in the right? I think you're in the right track. You're in the right track.
I mean, I'm in the right industry.
You're in the right
You know what's
industry.
up.
Right,
You
right,
know
right,
what's
right.
up.
Yeah, I know what's up. I know what's up.
We know a
But
little bit about showbiz,
it's it makes perfect sense. I think that
right?
you're onto something. You're onto something.
There's something there. There's
Yeah.
something
Right.
there.
Right.
And
Right.
so, but like that's my point. E3, E sorry, we're not E3. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the Game Awards,
Right.
like having their layout be what it is makes sense and is what's keeping it. I'm not saying it wouldn't be relevant otherwise, but it keeps it very interesting.
Right.
Like I doesn't it does kind of sometimes feel a little weird where it's like, okay, the nominees are da 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 da, and then so and so won. Okay, now we're gonna go to 5 trailers. Sometimes it's a little weird,
Right.
but
Especially
like
this
it
year, it
works.
was a little bit like
It was a little weird. Yeah.
right. It was a little bit relentless this year, and I think it was because um there was no. I mean, there were summer showcases and whatnot, but not an actual like big event where everyone came together and did the thing, right? And I think that the industry probably took the opportunity to is like, hey, let's get together, let's put stuff out there, get people excited for next year. Next year looks very thin, man. Like there's other than Final Fantasy and I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's going on Xbox. I don't know the Senua. It's coming out Hellblade 2, but like it feels like it's gonna be a thin year next year, which is fine. I think this year was incredible. Like I think
Yeah,
this year overall for gaming, like there's always milestones, right? There's 2017. Uh, I would count 2018, but that really like 2017 where you get like Nier and Persona 5 and Horizon, and then you get stuff like this year again. I want to say last year was also a fantastic year, at least for PlayStation, right? But this year with Baldur's Gate and some of the other experiences that are out there, it's just been like mind blowing. It's been a great year. So
yeah, totally. And but I will like to just to piggyback on what you said about 2024. Like you're right. It's at the looks of it right now, it's a little light, but at the same extent, Obed, like if we're talking about potentially this being the year of the Switch 2, or whatever they're gonna call it,
Right, we don't know. Right.
that narrative changes it up
Yeah.
because it might be for certain, if you're a console user or a PC gamer, it might be a little different, might be, not as active. But if you're
Right.
someone who's just a gamer as a whole, that's exciting to get potentially a successor
You're
to
right.
one of the most, successful gaming consoles of this modern generation.
Of
So
all time. Honestly
of all
speaking,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that could be big.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because we don't know, right? It's like we're thinking as whatever that console is as a more powerful Switch, but it is a new console.
Yeah,
It will have new games for it. So,
absolutely.
whatever that is, what if it's an upgraded Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever that could be,
Oh yeah.
and Nintendo's very secret. They're very very tight-lipped with their projects. Very rarely we see like a crazy leak from them. So, I think that's definitely something that we need to watch for. So,
Totally, totally. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's 2024 could be a surprise year.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And then yeah, I guess we can move on to the winners for
Oh
the game
yeah.
awards.
Oh, man. You
So
know, controversial here.
as I expected it, man. Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year.
Right,
Um,
which is expected. Yep.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not my cup of tea, not my cup of tea, but I know that there's a lot of I know the caliber of the game, and I know that this game is huge for many reasons, right? This is a
Totally.
legacy franchise from back when PC gaming was becoming you know competitive with the consoles, as if you want to call it that, right? It's, I guess, I think there was a for a moment there, it's like I want to say the 80s up until like probably Doom
Yeah.
came out. PC gaming was very very niche. It was not where it is right now. But when Doom came out, it really exploded, and I think that Baldur's Gate, like some other games of the era, are a product of that. So I think well deserved, if you ask me. But Spidey, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Oh boy, let me tell you something. This is controversial. I'm not saying that they're wrong for it, but it is fascinating nonetheless. So, Spider-Man 2 PS5 was nominated for 7 different awards and went over 7 for the night. I'm gonna run down the things it was nominated for. Obviously, Game of the Year. We just talked about that, right? Baldur's
Right.
Gate got the W there, but it also was nominated for Best Game Direction. It's also nominated for Best Narrative, best audio design, best performance, which technically it got on that. Technically, no, Baldur's Gate got that. Sorry, but also innovation, accessibility, and best action adventure game.
Right.
So yeah, like that's all crazy. So the winners for those, I'll just run through on those, like you said, for the game of the year, Baldur's Gate.
Right.
For best game direction was Alan Wake 2.
Yep.
Won that, and best narrative was Alan Wake 2. For best audio design was Hi-Fi Rush. Best performance was Neil Newborn Astron at Baldur's Gate 3. And then and innovation accessibility was Forza.
Forza. Yep.
And then for best action adventure game was Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So the things that it lost to are not like, oh my gosh, these were horrible things. It's just, I think, the matter of fact that when you really think from standing back, you're like, and you hear the headline 0 for 7, you think it gets snubbed. Then you look at the details of what it was going against, and you're like,
Right.
man, okay, the narrative could be a little different because it's
Yeah.
like it's a tough luck situation because it's
It
like
was.
it had been any other time, it probably would have just swept it. But all of those ones are completely. I mean, listen, Forza for best accessibility. That's the one that probably gets me the most, Obed. I'm not saying that it's not impressive with the mechanics, but
Yeah. I
playing
really don't.
Spidey,
I
what
have
they
no opinion because I really don't know. So.
but I can say like the experience and the accessibility from what they did with the Venom thing with your control, like that to me was revolutionary. Like without spoiling, like the moments when you're
Oh, yeah.
using that with
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
controller
Yeah.
and the 3D sound and things of that nature. And
Right.
Um, like there's a lot of different people have said, I've already heard different people say, like for people with disabilities and stuff, the way it's incorporated in is actually really helpful. So I don't know, man, it's immersive, but hey, again, out
Right.
of all the things, when you look at the headlines, I can't believe it. Then you look at the details, you're like, well,
Yeah, the
that's
headlines
some
were
cut.
really like sensationalist with it. It was
Yeah,
like,
totally, dude.
it was really dumb. Because when you consider it, it's like I played. I love. I think Spidey was great.
Absolutely.
I've played because I got my Nintendo recap yesterday, and I played Tears of the Kingdom for 165 hours this year,
That was your game of the year
and that was yeah. I
because you
mean,
you you played the life out of it.
right, and I'll probably just keep playing it because there's
Right.
I just go here and there, and it's like, oh, what's in here? I don't know. What's that? It's like, find the treasure. Even though I've like unlocked the full map and done all the shrines and, done all that, right? Just go. I just still go around and do stuff because it's just fun, man. It's a fun
Totally.
game. So, um, yeah, like you mentioned, Alan Wake 2, again, great game and won three categories. Uh, I have no complaints there, man. I think that Remedy did a fantastic job with this game. So not much to say there. Final Fantasy 16 got best score. Yeah, that was had good music. Yeah, yeah. That game had a. I think Final Fantasy 16. It was. Let me say this without offending anyone,
Oh,
because I enjoyed the game, but I think this game is the Rise of Skywalker of Final Fantasy in
whoa.
a good way, because it had really good moments, but as a whole, when you look at it as a Final Fantasy game, it's not the best, right?
Mm,
Like, this coming from a longtime Final Fantasy fan, I enjoyed the game. I don't think this game was the best. Uh, I think the characters were good. Were good. The narrative was fine. I think the story was a little bit. There was not. It wasn't engaging enough, in my opinion, right? And then it ends with loose ends and all that. But right, the constant through all of it is the music, and again, those moments that this game has are elevated by the soundtrack.
mm,
So you know the moments that are hype, they're taken to the next level because the soundtrack's so good. So
wow.
um, this game owes a lot to soundtrack. So, having said that, I don't know if that comparison to Star Wars is going to ruffle some feathers, because
I was gonna say that's
because a lot of
heavy.
people are going to say, "What are you saying? Final Fantasy 16 was actually good." But it was good. It was good. Yeah. I'm not saying that Rise of Skywalker's bad either. I'm just saying that
Oh,
he has.
he's in a corner.
I'm saying that Rise of Skywalker has had moments, right? Even though narratively it was a mess, it had moments that you know made the movie at least enjoyable. Question
Did you
mark.
see did you see the Adam Driver recent
I
comments?
saw I saw that, and you can tell that ending is super rushed,
It
and
was
we've
a
talked about it.
change.
Yeah,
It felt like a fan fiction. Some of the stuff they started doing,
right.
I was like, I've seen this on some thread on Reddit. This
It's
didn't
like
feel real life.
it's
Not
like
hating on Reddit,
it's like
but come
course
on.
correct, course correct. It's like they were so focused on course correcting that they like went off track. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's really what happened to this movie, right? They
Yep,
were
yep.
so worried that they needed to do so much patching that unfortunately that thing went off the rails. But we're going off the rails ourselves here. Yeah, audio design, Hi-Fi Rush, best performance, Baldur's Gate 3, games for impact, Chia was a PlayStation and PC exclusive, right? Or was it PlayStation exclusive?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Here's a controversial one. Ongoing game. Cyberpunk won that one. I I
That's
didn't think
controversial.
I didn't think like Fortnite is an ongoing game. I don't think Cyberpunk is.
I mean, they still are dropping though like major updates for it though.
They are,
Like
yeah. The game's fixed,
I
yeah,
still see the commercials and all that. I'm like,
yeah.
what? Like, how did they have money to market this thing? Didn't it bomb?
That well, not a lot of people bought it day one.
Right. So like, how do they have the money? I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I guess that. Oh, I heard that DLC is real good. Like that expansion that came out
Okay.
with the one with Idris Elba.
Mhm.
I heard it was really good,
It was
and
good.
then a lot of the technical issues that the game had at launch have been ironed out. So, like I heard
Gotcha.
now, it's really worth it. Actually, that's a game that you can probably find at like a Five Below for
At that
the
point, you should
PS4
put,
version and get the upgrade for PS5.
which at this point they might as well put on PS Plus, right? Like they might as well rather be randomly a game of the month or something because it's basically free,
Oh
right?
man, I haven't talked about it, but PS Plus has been such a letdown the last couple of
It's been
months.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. At least for like the base PS Plus, because I know that the other tiers are doing fine. Like they're adding really good games and really good stuff to them, but like that base tier for PS Plus, dude. What the heck's
Yeah.
going on with these game selections, bro? What
I
is it?
don't know,
It's so
man.
strange. But yeah, that took me a controversial pick. Um,
Jim
so
Ryan's on his way out, and there's some weird stuff going on.
right, I, I don't know. It's strange. That I think that's yeah. We'll probably see the remnants of his stuff for the next couple of months. If not, like we've already like he was out officially this week. I don't know if you saw that
Oh, really?
PS5 that they gave him.
No, I didn't see that.
No, so they gave him a PS5, a PS1 themed PS5 with a PS1 themed controller and everything. First, like
On his way out.
thank you, Jim, with the the cake with thank you, Jim, and all that. Because that was it was so like he's out out this week. Like
He's
he's
gone.
done
Okay.
right. So um yeah that thing's gonna this sort of changes. Same with Bob and Bob. They always have a tail. So um, we'll probably see some of this stuff until like February, March, maybe. So we'll see. Best indie game is Sea of Stars. Debut indie game Cocoon. Mobile game Honkai. And community support Baldur's Gate, of course. Resident Evil Village got VR. And like I mentioned, accessibility Forza action game. Armor Core 6 got best action game. The only game that I've been actually looking for on sale and wasn't on sale at all for the entire holiday season. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I'll probably get on my way next year and grab it. Since it's going to be a thin year, I'll
Sure.
probably just go back and grab the ones that I couldn't find. Tears of the Kingdom, well deserved for that. RPG, Baldur's Gate, of course. Street Fighter 6 got Best Fighting Game, as it should have. And Best Family Game, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Um, first I got Racing. Multiplayer got Baldur's Gate, Sim, Pikmin 4. Uh, and, the other thing I really don't care about, which is like esports people and whether influencer of the year or whatever. I just don't care. So because here's what I don't care. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, am I gonna get? Am I gonna? Oh, Joe,
Oh, it's coming.
I'm gonna get the podcast in trouble.
No, you're gonna get in trouble. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The reason I don't care about this influencer of the year or YouTuber of the year or whatever is because of people that have gotten the prize in the past and stuff that's happened since, that I really don't care for this category at all. If it were for me, if I were Jeff Keighley, I would just not do this one.
Jeez.
I would just, yeah.
I pick up what you're putting down, but what I will think, I think the reason why the modern era, this influencer thing has to be included. We're saying this as we literally have a podcast, but we're not. We don't consider ourselves influencers. We're just pundits. But like in this space, like you need influencers because they're like if you're nominated for it, what are they going to be doing leading up to the event? They're going to be talking about the game awards. So by nominating these people, you're giving yourself essentially free marketing for your show, even if the award's like a nothing burger.
I,
That's why a lot of places they have to include, or they have to
sure.
invite influencers to the events and stuff, because influencers, that's like instead of spending, you know,
But
$1,000 on a
but
marketing ad, you just
right.
got someone out here who has 1 million followers to go put a few tweets out about you and tag you, and now you got some more people
But you
tuning
don't
in.
see but you don't
Whatever.
see Jeremy Johns getting nominated for an Oscar for best YouTube movie review or whatever,
Because the
right?
Oscars are irrelevant. They're just becoming a dinosaur, which is
Well,
why they need to have
right.
that change. They
That,
need to change.
yeah. Well, here and I guess that would be a positive change. I mean, they don't like these influencers don't need a trophy, but
They don't need it.
they
Yeah,
could get invited, and that could be their
totally. I
thing, right?
agree. I
You
agree.
know
I
that's the
agree.
thing, right? They don't
You're right. You're right.
right. They don't need a trophy.
They don't need an
They don't
award
need an
to, yeah.
award. They can get invited, right? And we can sort it out ourselves. It's
Throw an influencer party, a Game Awards influencer party, and they all
totally.
post about the party.
Exactly. Yeah. No, totally. But yeah, it was very interesting. A lot of the awards were well deserved, and I think the right games were recognized. I thoroughly enjoyed Spider Man, but I know it was a big year. There was a lot going on, so
Yeah.
I'm not salty about it. I still enjoyed it quite a lot. So
Yeah, like that's the thing. We're trying to encourage people be level-headed. Like
right,
I am passionate about this game. It still hurts to see that it didn't win, but at the same extent, like I get it. I can't this you can't be outrage culture without having a pulse on what's actually the facts here. And you look it over, and if you know, you're like, okay, I can respect this.
right, right. So yeah, Game Awards alive and well, unlike E3, which was officially declared this week that it no longer is a thing.
It's not like
So,
an autopsy report the way you said it.
oh,
It was officially
we can
declared dead on the
we can
scene.
do a post mortem on E3 and see what happened here. But yeah, the ESA decided that that is it. They're not moving forward with the plans that the restructure plans that they had for next year. That after canceling the event this year, and I, it's sad, and I'm sad because I never got to go to it, and I always
That was a
wanted to,
dream.
and that was a bucket list item that I will no longer be able to tick, right? So I guess I gotta add the Game Awards now to my
Seriously, dude. Yeah. You gotta
honestly,
switch.
like I gotta switch, right? And it's unfortunate, right? Because the Game Award it's not this, it's not the same thing to sit down
Not the
and
same.
watch an award show than it is to watch the presentations and go around and touch stuff and play
Demo
stuff
and
and
yep.
meet people and right. It's not the same. It's kind of like the same experience that you have when you go to Comic Con, right?
Yep.
So uh, yeah, it's unfortunate because I always wanted to go ever since the old Sega Saturn days ever since this was like a mini CES that was not open to the public, and then it got bigger as it went along, and it made its untimely demise in the last few years. But yeah, I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out. I mean, a lot of people are rejoicing over it. I'm not. Um,
No,
you
not at
know,
all.
because it was fun. It was always fun. It was always a fun time. When we covered it on the show, it gave us good content. But if you want to go back and listen to the old E3 shows, I guess. but it was always fun. we did the E3 live stream for the Sony show,
Yep.
and that one really good. So yeah, it's I always wanted to go, and I'm sad that I'm not gonna be able to ever go to it. So um, what's going on with the ESA? I really don't know, right? Seems like the ESA doesn't have its ducks in a row, and um, I think that the ESA was a product of its time, and it was kind of like the MPAA tried to wrangle everyone in, and then when
Mm,
you got game companies that got bigger than the ESA,
yeah.
they're not gonna hang around. It's like when you got Sony over here, outselling everything, and you got Nintendo with, their biggest hit since the freaking DS. They're not gonna.
No.
They don't need to hang around with you, right? And it's unfortunate, right? Because at the same thing at the same time, it's a partnership. Interestingly enough, some of the like the Europe shows are still going on, right? The
Yeah.
Gamescom and Paris Game Week and all this stuff, right? Tokyo Game Show is still happening. It's like all this other shows happen,
Yeah.
but then E3's not. So what's going? Joe, let's make our own E3. Come on, let's do it.
Give us the money, give us the venue. We got this.
Put it together. It's
100%.
by fans for the fans.
Seriously.
Yeah.
For the people.
Yeah, for you. Oh, no, I don't think that's the. I don't think we
Go a
can
little
use that.
bit.
I don't think we can use that slogan, sir.
That's very, very copyrighted.
Right, very much so, sir. It has the biggest army of lawyers in the United States. So
We'll bring them in as a sponsor. We'll bring them
there,
in as
there you
a
go. Yeah,
sponsor.
sure, sure. I'm
You're
sure.
welcome. You're
I'm
welcome to
sure that
come in.
lawyers and also enjoy video games. They
Oh,
can be.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they can also be part of the group. So, um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, man. I mean, what do you think about all this?
Yeah.
Untimely demise. I mean, I don't want to say. I want to say untimely because I'm still bummed about it. But the writing was on the wall for at least 4 years maybe. So, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, it's kind of like the evolution of just the industry as a whole and how um the whole presentation format has just changed and changed and changed so quickly. It feels like in my lifetime, like we said, that was always the dream was, and we talked about it nauseam when we launched the podcast, like how cool would it be we get big enough to one day actually be there. And
right.
now, like you said, I think you gotta switch the plan to the Game Awards. Like let's go to the Game Awards one year. Let's do it like, fully and enjoy that. So Jeff Keighley, if you're listening to this, like we're there. Shoot us the invite. We're there. We'll have fun and
Did you?
talk about it. But
Did you? I don't want to interrupt, but
yeah.
did you see the hard drive article? It's like Sony and Nintendo to skip E3's funeral and do their own presentations.
Oh my gosh. No, stop, stop. Oh my, that's so wrong.
Right.
So wrong. But
Yeah.
seriously, like E3 over time, like you said, it was way more of like a Comic Con. I never went to it, obviously, but like I know that it was more of like a Comic Con style of you had your presentations mixed in with like the hands-on, walkthrough, demoing, experience. The difference though was that it was extremely industry. You could not just go and buy a ticket to go to E3. It was industry only. It wasn't a fan type thing where like Comic-Con is, right? It's limited but still open to the public. So I think that's another thing that kind of affected it to some extent too, that the way the style of it was. Because when you have something like that, I could see why over time, Nintendo would say, "Hey, we're gonna have our directs," and then PlayStation started their state of plays, and then the Xbox showcase. Like, it makes sense why they each would start doing it. And
Just
the
the
moment they started doing
right.
that, there was no other need for E3 aside from you want to just come and hang out and look at games, which other conventions do that already. It was like a perfect marriage of having a presentation mixed with the demo and the whole experience for the industry. And once you took one away, it just couldn't survive from it. Supposedly 28 years, something like that. I think is what that's what said that was running for something along
Yeah,
those
'cause I
lines. And
think the first one was 94 or 95. It was like the
something like that.
when the PS1 was coming out. Yeah. PS1 and
Yeah, like
Saturn, yeah.
that's super historic, long running. So at the end of the day, it's still sad to see it go, but it did have a good amount of years of a run, and it paved the way for things like the Game Awards and for like your state of plays and stuff. There's gonna be kids who grow up and have no idea that E3 was a thing. But for my favorite thing about E3 was just like with the mixed with the announcements, but also like the feeling of, oh my goodness, the console wars at one place. Like
Right.
you have you I gotta watch the Xbox presentation, but tomorrow is gonna be the PlayStation one. And like, like having that like fun anticipation and just kind of seeing what each one was doing. And they really did make it a show of like, bring in drummers randomly and do randoms, whatever, and The Rock would come out or whatever it was that they did. Like it made it
Bro,
like a fun
it's
competitiveness for the space.
it's like and actually which is insane, right? Just thinking back, right? Because we after that moment, we still had a lot of hype moments like the announcement of God of War and the impossible year with the Final Fantasy VII remake, Shenmue, and at the PlayStation conference. But when the 2014 when the Xbox One and PS4 were coming out,
Yeah.
and PlayStation just freaking massacred Xbox, dude.
Oh, dude, it was
It was
brutal.
brutal, dude. A bloodbath, and it was so bad that to this day, like Xbox still not 100%
They
recovered.
haven't recovered from it. Yeah, they never
It was
recovered.
so brutal. That takedown
The
was
fake clapping, the
wow. That it was that was nasty, bro. And then the Year of Dreams, and then God of War, and all this stuff, right? It's
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 been
crazy.
years of this thing.
Right, and then they stopped, and they said, "All right, we're not gonna do anything anymore." And I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" Right, and then Xbox bought all these studios so they can show up and show all their stuff that they bought, and now they can't show it. Well, I mean, they can
Which
do trailers, right?
which
But
did you see the blade thing? You've been seeing this?
so
Oh, let's see
what? So
about
what happened? Because I
oh
know that there was a teaser, right, and it was supposed
right,
to be a Bethesda game, and
right,
no Xbox logo was shown.
right,
But what
right.
happened? What happened?
Right. So like the big T with it was like, oh, so there's a Bethesda game. So all these Xbox people was like, oh, how are these PlayStation people real quiet now because we're gonna get our Marvel exclusive game, whatever. And then media outlets requested comment from Bethesda to say, is this going to indeed be an exclusive? And they said we cannot say that it's going to be exclusive right now. We have not like determined it yet. And so like even something like that could have been like an absolute win for them. They can't do it.
There was let me look it up. Let me look it up. If you want to feel dead
Which
air, well,
Blade,
look it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
like which like at its core, I don't. I mean, but first of all, it can't just be because it's a Marvel IP. Like it has to actually be a good game, which it could be, right? Like it, for Bethesda doing it. But at the same time, I don't think Xbox is a place where they can afford. Microsoft can afford to make it an exclusive. I think they have to put it on other consoles because they need the money. Although, unless there's some huge proof that they have that people will sell their PlayStations to play Blade on Xbox,
Right.
I don't think they can afford to do it.
Right. Right. So you know that so Bethesda's also working on the Indiana Jones game, right? And I don't know if you saw this week that the someone at Disney, I can't find the name. Let me see. Uh,
An Indiana Jones game, though.
well, yeah. So the Indiana Jones game, it was announced that
Hmm.
Bethesda's doing the. It was doing the game. It was doing the game. It was the deal was done before the acquisition, and then they renegotiated the deals for it to be Xbox exclusive. There was a comment by this week by a Disney executive saying that they're insisting that the headline is Disney insists Bethesda's Indiana Jones game going to PC and Xbox exclusive isn't overly exclusionary because they still have that PC market, so they don't
Correct.
feel like it not being on PS5 may not, be an exclusion, but because they could probably just get
Mm,
some of that audience on PC. But when it all comes down to it, and when they when Disney sits down, and when Bob sits down and says, "Show me the Spider-Man sales," and then show me the Indiana Jones sales, and he sees the difference. I mean, I'm not comparing Spidey to Indy because Spidey wins, right? But
but this is a
when
big IP.
right, but when you sit down and you compare them both, and you say, "Oh, this one sold this many, this one sold this many," uh, there's gonna be a why question. And the why is gonna be, oh, because it wasn't on PlayStation or it wasn't on Nintendo or whatever, and the question and the why wasn't it, right? And it's gonna be like that. I know, bro.
You calling it?
But Bob text me and he lets me know, man. he lets
Alan
me.
Iger. Alan Iger.
He lets me know, man. It's it's like, yo, where are the sales at? Well, the numbers are not matching up.
Obed
So
got that caller ID coming in.
like
Robert Allen Iger.
eventually, you know, eventually Disney's gonna sit down and look at this and
Yeah,
ask
totally.
why because that's how they operate. I know how they operate.
It's a
and,
business. It's a business decision too. Like this makes
right,
sense.
right. So so we'll see. It's like they're gonna ask him, why didn't you do the like what you did with the Star Wars Survivor Jedi, and that sold very well because that was on
Exactly.
everything. And I was like, oh well, was it this thing? And we renegotiated. I was like, and you lost half of the
Mm,
sales.
right, right,
That's
right.
gonna be the thing,
You
right?
can't save yourself
And
from that. Yeah.
then decisions are gonna be made. So
They
um,
put themselves in this corner. How do
right,
they get themselves out of it? It'd be different if they made a ton of money. They could like, we could make this an exclusive because we already have this many people who will buy this console just to play this, but they don't have
totally.
that base right now. They don't have people like Obed. They make a killer Indiana Jones game. I mean, award-winning style, like think of Spider-Man level. People are talking about it. You're going to go and take your money to go buy an Xbox just to play that one game?
No,
If anything, you probably say, "I'll wait for
yeah,
PC and I'll play it
yeah.
on your PC."
Right. I mean, if I still have a PC, but yeah, but again, I've been considering just getting a Mac Mini just
Oh yeah,
because it's
bro.
like
Life
it's
is good
just
on the Apple.
less problems overall, and I don't have to deal with crap. So
You don't put your firefighter hat on anymore. Not when he's home.
I'm tired, boss. You got the reference.
I did. I did. This is Michael Duncan, right?
Yeah. Like
Oh,
Clark
yeah.
Duncan. Yeah, there you go.
R.I.P. The
Green
original
Mile.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
uh, Dude, I'm telling you.
Sorry.
Oh,
We
so
laughs. We laughs.
yeah, man. Um, yeah. You know, questions are going to be made, but you know, you we'll see. Yeah. So E3, we will miss you. We will definitely miss you for sure. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
um, again, I really wanted to be a part of your world, but
All right, Ariel.
uh, but like third party tour guides, you're not gonna be part
Oh.
of that world, because the Walt Disney World Resort is allegedly. We're gonna. I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
All right,
We can do
I'm gonna.
it.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna. Touch it with gloves. Allegedly, is banning third party tour guides. Um, Allegedly, started handing out trespassing warrants for people that are bringing in uh, tour, groups or tours. How is this going to affect groups coming in from Brazil? I don't know, because those guys operate as a third party tour guide, and those
True.
groups are big. And I'm gonna make a comment, and I'm not gonna. But
Oh my gosh.
you know, this is pretty.
That's true though.
This is
That's a
pretty
good
big
point.
because this was a side business for a lot of people, very lucrative, and it's been going on forever. The first two times that I came to WW 93 and 94, we were on with a tour with a tour guide. Was it 93,
Yeah,
94 or 92, 94 or something like that?
sure.
Same difference. 92, 94. Probably. We came in with the tour, right? We had our guide, and our guide took us around the park. It was our first time, right? I think this is great for first time park goers. Although, like, a lot of people are more experienced now. They just buy the ticket and go, but they're more adventurous now. I would say, right? Um, but I think it was a good experience, especially
Okay.
when you had a tour guide that's knowledgeable and is able to uh, take you to I guess the highlights of the park and give you trivia while you're walking around and all that stuff, right? That's cool. I really enjoyed it when I was a kid, and I was 12, 13 years old back then, and I really enjoyed it. I I don't know. I'm conflicted about this. I don't know. I don't think they should be doing this. But at the same time, right? Um, whenever something like this happens, normally it's because they have a plan, and
Okay.
I'm thinking that they will probably planning on implementing a an internal tour service. If you want
They
to
already
book,
have one though.
but it's VIP.
I mean,
It's
that's how
VIP.
that's how Disney rolls. You gotta pay big money to get the.
Well, I mean, you still pay big money to pay to the tour guide. Is it? You pay money, not big money, but that's money that's going to the tour guide, not to Disney, right?
Correct. Correct. That's
So,
true.
so, may so
Cut the middleman out.
right. I think that's exactly what's happening here. They are taking the opportunity to consolidate, and if people want to tour the park, even if it's not a VIP tour, right, or any sort of guided tour around the park, it will have to be a cast member that would do it. I think from a business standpoint, that's a great idea. Unfortunately, I do feel for the people that made a living out of operating. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna suggest a novel idea for you, Disney. Instead of banning the tour guides, ban influencers from the park because they really
Oh,
ruined it.
we want to get in there.
No, I mean, but no, I'm not meaning influencers that are there because you invite them to get content out. That's totally fine. But I don't need to walk around someone dancing in the middle of the Adventureland bridge. That's freaking ridiculous. You know, ban them. Don't ban the tour guides. I think the tour guides are doing a great job. This guy's an
See,
idiot.
but
These guys are idiots.
see, the tour guides are touring are giving people tours. The influencers are again the free marketing.
But they're annoying the hell out of people, dude. I don't care. It's
But
I
you're already in. You paid your
I don't,
ticket price.
bro.
No, I agree. I think
I'm
both are
just
a little
I think
interesting.
I think I'm just turning into a curmudgeon old man, and it's just I was like, why is why are these young people so dumb and just dumb dances? I was like, well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Because I've watched Disney influencers
Totally.
and that are not dancing around like morons around the park. They're actually like showing you cool stuff and giving you trivia and doing meaningful content from the
Yeah, they're having
parks.
fun.
That's right, and that's great. Those are I don't have a problem with those. That's like it's like the one the I'm the main character kind of influencer. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that I have a
Look at
problem.
how cool I am.
Those are the ones that I have a problem with. So
Yeah, I hear you. I
yeah,
hear you.
you better get on those. But no. Like in all seriousness, I I I I do see a motive for this. But Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you actually presented some things that I didn't think about because selfishly, my gut reaction instantly was like, great. There's why do they need this? But you definitely presented enough stuff to make me instantly go like, okay, I understand why certain people, especially people coming from outside of the country, wanting to have these tour guides. Like I could respect that to an extent. And that being a part of people who are, with working with travel agencies and all the,
Right.
the whole process, there's a lot of ripple effects. I do still think that if anything, they just, I don't want to say rebrand, but kind of re-promote the VIP because VIP is very like, it's very hidden. It is VIP.
It is very hidden, and it is
Like
also very expensive.
it's also very expensive. Like you don't find out about it unless you ask, like, hey, is there a thing for
Right.
this? Or you're physically in the park and you're like, why are those people being escorted by that person
When
with an iPad? You know?
when I was at on when I worked at Disney Reservations, we were told not like if someone asked about VIP tours, we do not offer them.
See what I'm saying? Like it's very hidden.
It's we like they had to go through like
You have to know
hoops.
somebody.
There's a hoop.
Yeah.
There's a certain hoop that you got to go through to be able to book one of these things. And like I said, they are outside of regular means. They are they're very they're
The-
so they're Galactic Star Cruiser pricing
mhm.
for a 1 day experience.
Right.
They're
Right.
yeah, it's like that. It's that expensive. So
So so I can tell story time here. Like I can tell you back in what was it 18, 19, 2018, 2019 when they opened up Galaxy's Edge when it was going to be coming about. And myself and several colleagues at the time, and one of the leadership literally presents to like, hey, what do you guys think about doing this, like going to Disney for this thing as a joke? And I was like, oh, that would be cool. And then on my own, I remember actually calling Disney to find out about the VIP service because I said, if we can get this, we can
oh
get into like the Galaxy's Edge stuff easier
right
without because we knew those lines were going to be like hundreds of people, whatever. And I'm like,
right
and I just remember them telling me like you need to have like a certain size of people like for us to even consider you and submit this, whatever. It's a like you said, a lot of hoops, and even if you do like every person has to put up a large amount of money just to be involved
right
in it. You have to really be very dedicated. But I can see them taking something like that, Obed, taking the VIP, and I don't want to say rebrand, but kind of represent it because of how hidden it is to
right
try and utilize that service to get people to use it and just say, like, we offering this a little bit more in tandem with specifically travel agencies. So like it's not hidden in the sense of like you got to know somebody or go through stuff to go through it. The people that they want to have the tours that are going to spend like those companies are able to do that on Disney's behalf, and
right
the money comes to Disney still, or maybe a percentage. I can see them doing something like that for
yeah
sure. But I also feel like at the end of the day, like how you just said, like alluded to, like these tour guides coming in with tons of people, that's a problem too. Like I'm sorry, like put money aside, Disney's already crowded as it is.
right
When you have like a group of 20 to 30 people, and this isn't a a school field trip or something, like this is just a bunch of adults and families that were coming through all together, getting a like that's crazy. If you're gonna allow to have tour guides, there needs to be a cap of like how many people and a way because people they crowd these group. There's always crowds at Disney, but when you're a group together, they all crowd into one area.
that's the
It's
thing,
easier
right?
to
It's
to
hard.
walk. I could walk around a family of 5 and 6 people, and that's already could be a challenge sometimes. But not like when there's a group of like 30 people all just standing in front of
Right.
waiting for this one thing. That I'm not saying they're wrong even for doing that.
When you got
I'm just
yeah.
saying that it's an issue of just like
Right.
trying to make the experience what it's supposed to be. So yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
tough.
it's tough. It's tough, right? And again, there's people that are losing their livelihood because they do depend on it. And
Because they're banned as in like they can't even get into Disney just as a like as a person even anymore now, right? Or
allegedly, like they
like
have
if that like
well,
that ban's
allegedly
like
they
a
have a
ban.
list that they're scratching you off of.
You know,
Yeah.
you know how hard like that's crazy. Like not only is it you can't do your living, but you can't even go like as like like that's it. Your last day
Well,
ever in Disney
I'm
World,
guessing
you're
that you
not
can
getting
probably
in.
go as a day guest, but not
They're
like
looking.
it's right. If you go with like I don't know, man.
But if
I
you're
really don't know.
trespassed, I don't
Yeah, if you
know. I
get
mean,
trespassed, you're not getting in like
that's what I'm
at all.
saying. Like that doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy. Yeah,
tough, bro.
it's tough. It's tough. So I don't know.
That's that's gangster, Bob. That's
Right,
that's
right,
gangster.
right. That actually seems like a JPEG thing, right? It's like it
That's what I
doesn't
was
seem
gonna
it's
say.
like
Like
it's
you're
that
out.
seems like a more like let's
Right?
let's go bam.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. It seems
Got
more
him.
like mustache twirling Bob Chapek over here,
Doesn't
but
sound like him.
yeah, but it really stinks, but there has to be a reason for it. I know that eventually we'll find out. I know that because of park attendance being the way it is, um, it's probably tougher to keep a group. Again, what is this going to mean for international groups coming in, like groups from Mexico, groups from Brazil,
Right.
groups from Puerto Rico that still do
Japan,
uh,
I don't know.
tours? I don't think Japan does tours, but like, but at least like
They have their own Disney too
Argentina,
over
because I've
there.
seen groups
Yeah.
from Argentina. I've seen, there's large groups of people. What is it gonna do right for them, right? Um, that's gonna be a big question. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. It's unfortunate that people are going to be affected monetarily, and I'm sure that this will be an opportunity for maybe some, again, them having their. I was like, oh, you want to book a tour, you got to book it through us, and it's gonna be a minimum of this many people.
Yeah.
A group between this many people and this many people, and you gotta remember this is not a genie plus sort of thing. The rides that we're going to pick that you're going to go to a standard queue and make the line, right?
Mm.
It's like that's it. They're probably gonna have something must have happened, dude.
Oh,
Like
totally.
they like even if you think about it, like outside of the money thing, something must have happened to cause this, because they someone must have been exploiting something, and
Totally.
they caught on to it,
Totally. It was too much.
right? And other than the money thing, because I still think that that's part of the reasoning, but yeah. um yeah, man, it's we'll keep you guys informed. We'll let you know what's up. um not to stay on the topic too much, but too much longer, but I did see again an influencer that it's good on YouTube, uh did a VIP tour just for the single person at Universal Studios Hollywood, which is like
Oh,
VIP,
interesting.
tour, meaning going in the morning, getting breakfast, skipping the lines, going backstage, having lunch, like including meals, right? And the single
And just
person
party of one had one person
party
walking
of
them.
one, it was $900 for that person
Oh.
for the day for Universal Studios Hollywood. So I'm
But you
assuming,
got food.
yeah, you got food, yeah, and again with the Disney ones, you get food too, but um, I want to say that Disney's probably like double that per person easily.
Totally.
So yeah, man, interesting stuff. We'll keep you guys posted with all the Disney occurrences. Joe, that's what we got. Second and last show of the year. Next one's gonna be the last one for
Big one.
2023,
Yep.
and we'll be back in January, ramping up to 300. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
We got things in store.
Yep. So we'll keep you guys posted for 300. We'll let you know what's up. But Jolie, in the meantime, where can everyone find us?
Thank you all for staying with us. We want you to make sure you stay subscribed to No Load Time. We're on podcast platforms of your choice, places like Spotify, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. Find us, subscribe to us, follow us there. It'd be super appreciated. Additionally, you can subscribe to the YouTube version, the video version of No Load Time on YouTube. No Load Time. You can subscribe, like, comment on the videos. Super helpful. Really appreciate it. We're not asking for your money. We're asking for you to click those buttons. It really just supports us. Really, really appreciate it. Also, follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. We're all out there, so make sure you give us a follow. Additionally, you can also follow us on Twitch. No Load Times, No Load Time, all together on Twitch. Right now, if you're watching the video version, you'll see the handles down below that I just referenced. Last but not least, if you have a question, comment, feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Bob, you can reach out to us, noloadtime@gmail.com. It's noloadtime@gmail.com. I look forward to our very next episode, our last one of 2023.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.